And part 2 of the Lemonbuster's auto inspection of a Chevy Impalla. Start off here, it's a 3800 V6. Great motor by GM. These things go for hundreds of thousands of miles without much issue. And it's back with a 4T65E transmission. They've had some issues, more due to lack of service than anything else. You can see here it's got typical 3800 valve cover leakage. Been a big problem with this motor since the 80s. You just need to have the valve covers replaced. Was told the AC compressor was recently replaced along with the radiator and the water pump. You can see here, you take a look at the water pump, you can see it's shiny and new. Belt's in pretty good shape too. See a couple of little minor cracks, but nothing major. The coolant, you can see the overflow is grimy, but it does have fresher looking coolant inside. Dexacool has been known to have caused issues. The owner did say that the intake manifold gaskets have never been done, so I would expect to do that in the future. Also, these plastic intakes have problems with the EGR eating through them and causing the motor to suck up coolant. That might be something to also replace while doing the lower intake manifold gaskets. They are leaking some oil. I don't see a whole lot of coolant from them at this point in time. At this point, we're going to take a look at the right front wheel. It's got a little bit of corrosion on it. Overall, it looks to be in pretty decent shape. Tire, however, on the right front here is in very poor shape. It's pretty low. As you can see here, you got about 30 seconds left, maybe 4 at the most. Definitely going to need to be addressed. Going to go ahead and move to the right rear wheel and tire. You see here we got the right rear wheel. About equal condition, a little bit of corrosion, a little bit of wear. Right rear tire's in bad shape too. It's probably got about 130 seconds left. Going to need to have these 2 tires replaced for sure. Here we are on the left rear tire. See, this wheel's in pretty good shape. Has a little bit of damage to the clear coat. Awful lot of weight to balance it out there. Looks like about 2 ounces on the outside. Got ourselves a nice new tire on here though, about 30 seconds remaining. So this tire's in great shape. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to move to the left front wheel here. See, it also has a little bit newer tire. Wheels in average shape. One thing I do notice here, we're getting a little bit of feathering here. This vehicle, I believe, is probably in need of an alignment due to the tire wear. Have not driven the vehicle yet here. Got about 30 seconds left on it, but it tapers off down to about 30 seconds. Looks like about 30 seconds on the outside, tapering down to 30 seconds. So that's something that probably is going to need to be addressed there. The toe's probably off. The vehicle can still drive straight like this. It's just going to wear the tires out. Go ahead and take a peek underneath here. We did have the vehicle up earlier. One thing that was noticed on here, as you can see, there's some CV grease slinging out here. It appears as if the clamps loosened up on the CV boot. This is very common on GMW body cars, Grand Prix, Impalas, Monte Carlos, and whatnot. They sling grease all over the place. Eventually, the car will get a case of the wobbles. So, one option is to address it before it becomes a major problem, and go ahead and repack the joint with grease, and go ahead and put a new boot on it. You see the oil pan's pretty dry here, but the trans pan has got some seepage going on. A little bit of oil running down from that valve cover as well. See here, the car is pretty wet due to the rain we're having. Go ahead and move to the right rear underneath of the car here. See, this car is definitely from a southern area because you don't see floors and unibody components looking this nice from Chicago on a vehicle this age. Rockers are all very solid on it, which is another problem spot these cars tend to rust in. see the control arm boxes, control arm components, everything's just pretty clean underneath here. Exhaust is in good shape. See up in here a little bit more. Definitely see more repair here from the quarter.
Siri not available. Connect to the internet.
Sorry about that. I bumped my button there. You see the license plate bulbs got some issues going on here. One of the bulbs is broken off. This one's not working. They're not even in place. That's going to be a $50 fix-it ticket. You see, just real clean underneath here. You can see here, just real nice and clean overall. See, even up in by the fuel door there, it's nice and solid, no rot. Real common on these cars in this area. You can see here more of the control arm box on the driver's side. Your fuel lines and brake lines are all very nice. Floor is real solid and nice. One area of concern here is that your tie rod boot, your tie rod end has got a lot of play in it. The boot's torn, joints worn out. I'm going to recommend doing outer tie rods on it for sure. This boot doesn't seem to be slinging a whole lot of grease yet. Rack looks to be pretty good. Don't see any real signs of leakage. Racks like to leak on these W body cars. So overall, looks pretty good underneath here. I'm going to go ahead and take a quick look at the brakes now. See here, we're going to look at the left front first. It's going to be hard because of the wheel angle here. Try to see if we can get it from over here. There we go, got a little bit better angle there. And see, you got about 50% or so left in the front. Rotors look to be wearing pretty nice. Go ahead and take a look at the rear here. You can see here you got about 50% left in the rear as well. Rotors also look to be wearing nice. See here, got about 50% or so left on the rear brakes here. And we'll go ahead and take a look at the front brake here. See if we can get a decent shot of it. There we go. You can see here you also got about 50% or so left. At this point we are going to start the car up. We'll let you listen to it run. You're at 101,000 miles. Check engine light is on. We'll get to that shortly. It has a P0102 fault stored in it. Also, it has 5 monitors complete, 3 incomplete. It has not run catalyst O2 sensor or evaporative. There could be issues with those systems that have not been run or tested yet. Let's go take a look underneath the hood and listen to it run for a minute here. You can see the engine is quiet. No abnormal noises really at this point. Belt runs nice and true. You see the engine runs pretty good. At this point we're going to end part 2. We're going to begin part 3.